On March 1st, 1971, the Kansas City Times released an article about a mysterious creature that was stealing chickens from a local farm near Reno, Oklahoma. The press dubbed the name Chicken Man. The farmer walked from his old farmhouse to the chicken coop to discover several bloody handprints that measured 7 inches long and 5 inches wide, while the thumb appeared to be very unusual, possibly injured or deformed. It also resembled a gorilla, but was more like a human. A similar story was reported by the North American Wood Ape Conservancy from 1970 in Canadian County, also near El Reno. About 2 a.m., 2 hunters saw a shadow figure with 2 red blinking eyes. The shadow splashed into the river, sounding as big as an icebox hitting the water. They watched a tall, upright animal run away in a zigzag pattern, leaving the hunter's jaws hanging open. Last but not least, this area is also famous for the Lucky Star Casino footage from Concho, Oklahoma, where a Bigfoot was caught on the casino's security camera near a dumpster behind the casino.
In 2002, he was allowed to view what appeared to be a massive upright creature, captured by a security camera on Native American tribal land.
Below the mercury light was a dumpster where there was food that had been thrown out. It crossed this area 60, 70 feet, and maybe it wasn't more than 6 or 8 steps. The mercury vapor light was about 10 feet tall, and the creature ducked its head when it went under the light.
While Roberts was allowed to view the tape, the tribe now claims to have destroyed it.
This is Friday, August the 2nd, 2024. We are on location at our NCRP team and our NOBRO team are on location at the abandoned old Highway 81 bridge north of El Reno, between El Reno and Concho, the Cheyenne Arapaho Reservation. We're right here on the river. We have visited this location in the past, but we haven't been back here since before COVID. We're hoping to watch these areas tonight. Got a little cool front came through today, and we're hoping that that will stir up some animal activity. And so we'll be using audio recorders, thermal imaging, night vision with IR. We'll be using some bait stations to try to attract them to come out. Behind me is an open field on the south side of the river with a tree line at the back, and we're going to be watching that very closely for activity. In this location down along the river, we found some good footprints. We found structures. Just a few years ago, we investigated where the river gauging station antenna was damaged and under suspicious circumstances in the middle of the night, and there's some video on that. Also, back in the winter of 2016, we were out here and took a video through night vision with IR scope along the tree line of a possible adult and juvenile working their way up the tree line. We had another member of our organization several years ago that was out here by himself one afternoon, and I believe it was early springtime, and had heard some soft whoops coming from a tree, and started shooting pictures of that tree. Couldn't see anything at that time. Then when he got home and started analyzing the photos, he could see a figure perched in the top of the tree. He actually sent the copies of the photos to OU, and got a reply from some professors there, biology professors, that said it did appear to be some type of primate. So so there's been ongoing activity out here for years and years, several sighting reports from up and down the river, and that's what drew our attention to this area. We are just barely north of the the story called the Chicken Man of El Reno, and it was a family farm here just at the south end of the bridge on the west side. They were raising chickens. This was in the 1970s. One night something got into the chicken coops, left some bloody handprints on the chicken coops, and took off. And so the next morning the Sheriff's Department was called, the El Reno Police Department. They called in the director of primates at the Oklahoma City Zoo. There was a bloody handprint on one of the chicken coop doors, and the primatologist there studied that. He reported that it was some type of primate, but not any type of primate that he was familiar with. So that was it's been a great mystery, and of course everyone would like to find that missing door with the handprint on it for run DNA analysis or fingerprint analysis, that sort of thing. So that's where that story of the El Reno Chicken Man came from. It wasn't a chicken man, but a possible Bigfoot that had broken into the chicken coops. And there are other sighting reports for years up and down the river here. So just a very interesting area, and we wanted to do a nighttime stakeout here on the bridge.
I'm Thomas Crabtree. I'm with the Native Oklahoma Bigfoot group organization, actually, and I'm with also the North Canadian River Project as well. We're doing a nighttime investigation. We plan on doing thermals as well. We've got listening devices, bionic ears is what we call them, as well, and parabolic mics. Also going to launch some, using a water balloon launcher, we're going to actually launch some bait out there and see if we can get it out there far enough. Maybe it could possibly bring them in. Just an idea. We'll see how it works. Some fish, chicken liver, stuff like that. But I've been out here once before, several years ago. Found some tracks west of the bridge here on a sandy bank, and I've got several pictures of those. Believe it was possibly Bigfoot. There was no human foot prints around. It was barefoot, around goat head stickers. I wouldn't think that it would have been a person. Anyway, it's a very active area, and we're all here to hopefully have some action tonight.
Cryptid Investigations, and I also work with the Native Oklahoma Bigfoot Research Organization. There's like 381 case files now. There's some pretty interesting new ones in there. But we've also been going on little short trips, going out and check like this, you know, going out and doing stuff. But it's just too hot to try to sleep and spend the night. We went out to Jefferson Park recently, where we stumbled on a little tiny footprint that's only about this long. Probably going to be releasing that video pretty soon. But it was a little bitty tiny 5¼ inch footprint by 2.5. And I set out a time-lapse camera on the area, and we walked around, did a night hike and everything. Thought we were going to come up empty-handed, but then when I went back a week later, we found a very tiny tree structure set up about 30 or 40 feet from where I'd set up the time-lapse camera that was just outside of the camera's, you know, aperture. A lot of people think that there's like one small group of them, or maybe one individual that's moving up and down the river. I would have to say that I think there's probably multiple groups at different locations up and down through the river. You were finding multiple sizes of footprints out there, and we've found differing sizes of footprints. And this footprints that we found at Stinchcomb, that I found at Stinchcomb without you guys not too terribly long ago, were even smaller. So, you know, I mean, when the footprints you find are getting smaller, that tells you you've got, it's not growing into itself. So I think there's family units, and I think they're in different positions up and down, and going clear up to Canton, because this river continues on, goes to Canton Lake, and there's probably maybe even multiple pods of them from here to Canton. I know a guy who had an encounter out there whenever he was a young man. Him and a buddy of his were out there, and I believe they were trying to deer hunt, and they ran into a family unit of them out there. Scared the boys pretty bad. They were both pretty young, and he told me about that. I think it's in one of my case files. I would say that was probably in the early 80s. I've had other people that have ran out. We found a lot of prints out there at Canton. I think it's totally legit. It was in the newspaper. There was evidence collected. There was blood samples. It was the print. The handprint was examined at the time by the most credible person that, you know, Oklahoma had. The truth is there was so much evidence coming out of this little area here over just a short period of years that it was in the newspapers, it was being well documented, and it was all up and down the river, and even on the south side of El Reno too. I mean, and the sheer numbers of reports that were coming out kind of makes you wonder if it was one of them or several of them. You know, I mean, it could have been more than one. But what a weird name for a Bigfoot. I mean, you get this hilarious image in your mind about the chicken.
Brian says he found some kind of clearing or trail up here, so we're gonna go check it out in the dark. This is on the south side of the bridge. We just heard some kind of howl or sound, possibly a cow. What'd you think it was, Brian?
I thought it was a cow. But what do you think of this?
Oh, is this what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
You did? I mean, am I crazy?
that's a big hole.
No. Look behind you. But you gotta admit, something big is coming up through here. Catty corner, cutting across, and going right over here behind us.
See, I thought you were talking about
No.
this is the weird. You're definitely right.
This is, it's big. I mean, that's bigger than a cow would make.
Okay, we're getting some owl vocals. Brian just showed us this opening. That's a very, very big opening, like a path that something's made. Can't really see it in the FLIR, but this is the spot. And it's crossing this old closed down road, crossing the road, coming over here this way. And it's going through there.
I think Chris and I both heard something moving down in there. That's big.
Yeah. Where's yours, Brian?
Back at the chair.
Oh, you didn't bring yours?
I don't know what that is, but it's...
Can you see it, Chris? Come around here.
You see what they're looking at?
Wow.
What the hell is that? You see anything?
I'm just seeing if it'll move. Sorry.
No, it's okay. That's how it's done.
I'm not sure.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was that an owl again?
What is that?
I don't know.
Sound. Are you seeing it?
Yeah.
On yours, Evans?
I'm seeing a tree trunk, but
Okay.
I'm not seeing...
So maybe it's just a tree trunk then.
Oh, no, that's awful humanoid looking.
I know. It looks like a head and shoulders like peeking.
Is it moving?
I mean, on here it appears to be kinda like a swaying kinda, but
Take 2 steps to your left or right and see if you get the same angle.
okay, it's probably a tree trunk.
Go the other way.
Okay, where are you, Evans? Oh yeah. I think that's a tree trunk.
Field is clear. For now.
What'd you get earlier on the other side of the bridge?
Unidentified heat signature at distance. I don't know what it was. Thought that at first it might be a dog, but just couldn't tell. Just couldn't tell. But I don't think it was big enough to be our target species. I think it was something else.
We were sitting here and we heard something hit the railing on the bridge here, and it sounded like a pebble may have hit it.
Yeah, or it went twing.
Heavy rock or light rock, medium? What do you think?
Light rock.
Okay. So we think they're pebble throwing, huh?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right, that's a good sign. What time is it right now?
9:23.
So it's just barely gotten dark. 9:23. So how long ago was this that you heard it?
5 minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 5-10 minutes ago, and all I heard. You think it hit the bridge? Is that what you
Yeah,
heard?
what it sounded like to me.
I was walking, so I didn't quite hear it as loud as they did, but I did hear something. It did sound like a pebble.
So here's Tom's setup. He's looking at the river bank. It's a really cool setup. There's his camera. We've used it before in other videos.
This is basically the older one. I do got the thermal insulated to try to knock down any of the frequencies that might be getting out there. Kind of like Faraday cloth on it, the cover, and it knocks down the noise of the sound of the. There's a wheel in there, a chopper wheel that makes noise. So That's what the reason behind it.
Where is that? Is that out in the middle of the tree?
It's on the edge of the trees. That is big eye shine. That is big eye shine.
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
It's still there?
I think it's just like a dot in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, there's two eyes. I'm recording.
Okay, so Evans has found some eye shine on his night vision using the IR. So we're all taking turns looking at this eye shine out in the middle of the field. I don't know if is it in the middle of the field or is it in the tree line, Evans?
On the edge of the tree line.
It's on the edge of the tree line.
Okay.
It's kind of back inside the tree.
Maybe I'll go get my phone.
Yeah.
Are the eyes tilted up this way?
Yeah.
Well,
that's loud, isn't it?
Well, no,
Sounds like rocks hitting the bridge.
but they're saying, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, they're right in the middle of that brush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're watching us.
Yeah.
He's looking right at us.
I'm not seeing a whole lot of movement on Therm.
Oh, it's not moving at all.
Yeah, it's like the head's
like it's
tilted
back
to the
in
right
there.
and just sitting there.
Yeah.
But maybe pretty far back in the brush, too.
It's moving. Holy moly. Oh my gosh. What is that?
Is it moving towards us?
It's moving out into the open. Look through there real quick.
Getting anything, Brian?
Yeah.
See real quick?
Okay, Evans is saying it's
It moved from the brush. It moved out into the field. Have you seen anything?
Oh, wow. Fast. It went that way fast.
Wait, left or right?
That way.
Left. Yeah.
It's go down to the other end a little bit
Dang.
to see it.
Pan left, and I'm just getting reflection off these trees now.
so you couldn't tell if it was on 4 legs, 2 legs.
Well, no. I was just getting bright eye shine.
Evans had caught a glimpse of eye shine in his IR camera. And everybody proceeded over there. He said, "Hey guys, I've got eye shine. Come and look." And so everybody went over there to look. I was a little slow that night, and I thought, well, I'll just be the last one. And got up there about, I'm going to say, about 5 seconds after everyone had already looked in it, and saw the eye shine. And when I got up there, I saw Bigfoot in the camera instead of eye shine. I never saw any eye shine, but I saw Bigfoot. He was walking across the field, kind of at a catty corner, but I didn't hear anything. But I saw a Bigfoot, definitely a shape of a Bigfoot. I didn't see him up close, but I could definitely tell what he was. Walking across the field, not running, but just walking at a steady, kind of fast pace. It was like he was walking, like if a normal person walks at a faster pace to get somewhere. My description was like if you're at a mall and you're on an escalator and you don't stand on the escalator, but you walk up it as it's moving. That was kind of how it was. That's the only way I know how to describe how fast he was going. It was like he was, like some people say, gliding. I can understand that now. It was like he was gliding as he was walking. which sounds strange, but that's basically my take. About 5 seconds, 4 to 5 seconds, I just followed him with my eyes as he walked, and that was it. He was from the side view, and so I never saw the eyes, but I saw his complete body. I saw how he walked. I saw how his legs moved up and down, and it happened so fast, it kind of threw me off like it wasn't real, but it was very interesting, and I still have it in my head.